Welcome to the NBA Saga, where we break down the stories that define today's league, the rivalries, the transformations, and the stars rewriting what it means to be great. And today, we're asking one big question. Could Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the smooth, unshakable leader of the Oklahoma City Thunder, become the 2025-26 NBA Most Valuable Player? If you've been watching the Thunder over the last few seasons, that question doesn't sound far-fetched anymore. It sounds inevitable. Let's rewind for a second. Just a few years ago, OKC was deep in a rebuild, a team loaded with draft picks full of question marks and waiting for an identity to emerge. Through all the noise, one constant stood out. Shai, he wasn't loud. He wasn't flashy in the social media sense, but he was steady. And that steadiness turned into stardom. Shai is not just another high-scoring guard. He's a craftsman, a player who manipulates space and pace the way an artist manipulates color and shadow. When you watch him dribble, you notice how calm he looks. There's no panic, no wasted movement. He just flows patient, precise, and lethal. That's his secret weapon. He makes chaos look organized. He makes tough shots look easy. And he's done it long enough now that everyone in the league knows when the ball's in Shai's hands, you're in trouble. But the MVP conversation isn't just about talent. It's about impact. And Shai's impact on Oklahoma City has been nothing short of transformative. This Thunder team is young, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, Josh Giddey, but they play like a veteran group. That's Shai's influence. He sets the tone every night. He brings focus, consistency, and a level of professionalism that filters down through the entire roster. When your best player plays the right way, unselfish, composed, efficient, it's contagious. That's how the Thunder went from rebuilding to contending faster than anyone expected. Let's look at the numbers, because the numbers don't lie. Over the last 2 seasons, Shai has been among the league's elite in scoring, top 3, sometimes number 1, and he's doing it with remarkable efficiency. He lives in that mid-range area where defenses die a slow death. He gets to the rim at will, draws fouls like a magnet, and knocks down free throws at an elite clip. What makes it all even scarier is that he's improved every single year. Every offseason, he adds something: a tighter handle, a stronger finish, a more confident pull-up 3. He's a perfectionist, quietly obsessed with mastering every aspect of the game. And when a player with that mindset also happens to be the face of one of the league's most promising young teams, the MVP buzz becomes unavoidable. The MVP race is never just about who's the best player. It's about storytelling, the emotional thread that ties the season together. Voters are human. They respond to arcs, to meaning, to moments that feel bigger than basketball. And right now, Shai's story has all the ingredients of an MVP narrative. He's the young leader who stayed loyal to a small market. He didn't join a super team. He built one from scratch. He represents growth, patience, and the idea that you can build greatness the right way. That's powerful. That resonates with fans, with media, and with voters. Of course, narrative alone won't win it. You need the team success to back it up. That's where Oklahoma City becomes the perfect setting. If the Thunder finish near the top of the Western Conference again, it'll be impossible to ignore Shai's impact. He's the engine of that machine, the one constant driving their offense, their defense, and their identity. Every big win, every clutch possession somehow leads back to him. You see it in the small details. When the team looks out of rhythm, he slows it down. When they need a bucket, he finds it. When they need a stop, he locks in. That's what valuable really means. Shai's MVP case also rests on his two-way presence. He's not a score-only guard. He takes pride in defending, using his long arms and great instincts to disrupt plays. He's consistently among league leaders in steals. He fights over screens, helps on rotations, and makes smart reads. That balance, offensive brilliance, and defensive responsibility is rare. And in an era where MVP debates often favor players with gaudy offensive numbers but questionable defense, Shai's all-around effort could be the differentiator. Now let's talk about intangibles, the stuff you can't measure but you can feel. There's something magnetic about the way Shai carries himself. He never looks rushed. He never argues calls excessively. He plays with an old school calm, like he's in total control of the chaos around him. That composure rubs off on everyone. It's the reason the Thunder look mature beyond their years. And when you combine that with the leadership he shows behind the scenes, the work ethic, the accountability, it's clear he's more than just a star. He's the heartbeat of the franchise. Still, every MVP campaign faces challenges. For Shai, there are a few. First, the competition. The league is overflowing with MVP caliber talent: Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and others. To stand out, Shai will need not just great numbers, but signature moments. MVP moments are those nights when the entire NBA world stops and says, that was special. A clutch shot on national TV, a 45-point night, and a comeback win. A game where he completely controls both ends of the floor. Those are the performances that stick in voters' minds months later when ballots are cast. Second, there's the fatigue factor, not for voters, but for players. Carrying a team every night is draining. If Shai can stay healthy and maintain his energy across 82 games, that durability becomes a key part of his MVP resume. He's shown he can do it, but the grind is real. MVPs are often defined by how well they sustain excellence, not just how high their peak is. Third, there's perception. Because the Thunder play so well as a unit, some people might say maybe it's the system, not just Shai, but anyone who watches closely knows the truth. Shai is the system. Everything Oklahoma City does flows through his decision-making. When he sits, their entire rhythm changes. That's the very definition of value. Let's imagine how this MVP race could unfold. If Shai comes out of the gate strong, say averaging 31 points, 6 assists, and 2 steals per game, while OKC starts 15-5, the national conversation will catch fire. Every talk show, every highlight reel, every debate panel will start asking, is Shai the best guard in basketball right now? Then the hype feeds the narrative. The narrative fuels attention, and the attention builds momentum, which in MVP races can be just as powerful as the numbers themselves. Now, picture this. It's late in the season. The Thunder are sitting near the top of the West. It's a close game against another contender, maybe Denver or Boston. Clock's winding down. Shai has the ball, one-on-one, everything on the line. He hesitates, crosses over, glides to the rim, and finishes through contact. The crowd erupts. The camera zooms in on his calm, unreadable face. That's the image that defines MVPs. Not a stat sheet, a moment, a feeling that this guy's in complete control of his destiny and his team's. The emotional layer of Shai's rise makes his MVP pursuit even more compelling. He represents something rare in modern basketball: patience. He didn't rush his journey. He didn't demand a trade or force a spotlight. He trusted his development, his organization, and his teammates. He grew the hard way, the real way, and that resonates with people. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, Shai's story is about slow, steady excellence. That kind of narrative doesn't just win trophies, it earns respect. There's also a symbolic element here. The Thunder, once home to superstars like Durant, Westbrook, and Harden, have rebuilt their identity around Shai's quieter kind of greatness. He's not chasing validation, he's building legacy. And in doing so, he's giving Oklahoma City fans something they haven't had in years. Belief, if he wins MVP, is not just his victory. It's the culmination of OKC's entire rebuild. It's proof that patience pays off, that smart drafting and player development can still compete with super team culture. From a basketball perspective, Shai's MVP ceiling might actually depend on one thing: control. He already controls the tempo better than almost anyone in the league. If he can elevate that even further, knowing exactly when to pass, when to shoot, when to push, and when to slow down, he'll become unstoppable. That kind of command turns great players into legends. And it's the final step that separates an MVP from everyone else. So when we talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as a 2025-26 MVP candidate, it's not wishful thinking. It's logic. It's evolution. He's been climbing toward this moment his entire career. The skill, the mentality, the leadership, they've all aligned. All that's left is the story to play out. If the Thunder win, if he keeps shining, and if the big moments arrive on cue, the MVP trophy might finally find its way to Oklahoma City again, but this time for a player who did it his way. So could Shai Gilgeous-Alexander win MVP this season? Absolutely. Will he? That depends on health, consistency, and a little bit of luck. But one thing's for sure, he's no longer the league's best kept secret. He's one of its defining forces. And whether he wins the award or not, this season feels like his coronation, the year the entire basketball world finally acknowledges what fans in Oklahoma City have known for a long time. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander isn't becoming a superstar. He is one. Thank you for watching the NBA Saga. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Shai's MVP chances, make sure to like, share, and comment your thoughts below. Do you think Shai can take home the MVP trophy this year, or will someone else rise above him? And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more long-form NBA breakdowns, passionate storytelling, and smart basketball analysis every single week. Until next time, keep watching, keep feeling the game, and remember, greatness doesn't happen overnight. It's built brick by brick. And right now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is building something special in Oklahoma City.